No coincidence that this year we, the Chabad of Rego Park, celebrate our 18th anniversary. It is also the year of Hakel. What is Hakel? Hakel is a Hebrew word for gathering. Of the 613 commandments, the second to the last mentioned in the Torah was that the entire Jewish people living in the land of Israel and its borders during the temple times, would gather in Jerusalem at the conclusion of the Shemitah year. The Shemitah year being the 7th year of a cycle, when the fields would be allowed to go fallow, as a sign to demonstrate our faith that it's the blessing of God that gives the bounty. At the conclusion of the 7th year, the people would gather in the temple and listen to the king read from the Torah in order to recommit themselves to observing the commandments and be faithful to God. The great sage Maimonides Rambam equates this occasion to the time when the Jewish people gathered at the foot of the mountain to receive the Torah. Who participated in the Hakel? Everybody. Men, women, and children, people of all professions. Why? Why schlep the kids? Why would somebody who's not a farmer want to be there? It has nothing to do with him. As they say, he has no skin in the game. Imagine you had thousands of people every year that would go up to Jerusalem and they would walk most of the time. So you needed a good sandal maker. So I'm sure at the gates of the temple was a guy with his little hammer who was fixing sandals. So his business was good all the time because everybody needed shoes. So why was this important for him? You had artisans, you had weavers, and I would be in a whole heap of trouble if I did not mention the following professions, considering that there are quite a few represented here, the doctors and the lawyers. What was in it for them? So allow me to explain. Though Hakel is not observed in the way described in the Torah, the temple no longer stands in Jerusalem. The commandments, though, never expire. They're always relevant. They're always timely. So therefore, there is a very important message in Hakel that we are meant to take away, and specifically us gathered here, because it very much comes together with what we're doing here. Hakel is the ultimate expression of Jewish unity. One that is not based on mutual benefit, similar socioeconomic background. It's real unity. The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. We may be from different backgrounds and countries of origin, but we do matter. And what we do matters. And our mitzvahs matter. The point of the Hakel is to emphasize our personal commitment, so I offer to you the following. All of us here, commit to do a mitzvah for yourself. Do it for the sake of our brethren in Israel. We know that we're all interdependent and interconnected. Commit to putting on tefillin on a more regular basis. Study Torah on a more regular basis. Acts of charity, lighting Shabbos candles. We have 613 ways of telling God we love Him. And He loves us. So what does it have to do with us? Let's celebrate what we have in common. Let's say, L'chaim. I can do better than that. L'chaim. Let's say L'chaim to the hundreds, if not thousands, of Jewish children who experience the beauty of Judaism attending the Chabad Hebrew School and holiday programs, very much like their ancestors that were schlepped to the temple. Many of them too young to learn to know how to read, but you know what matters? Experience the warmth, the beauty at a young age, and it stays with you forever. That is our goal at the Chabad Hebrew School. Let's say L'chaim. To the Russian-speaking seniors who gathered to celebrate the Jewish holidays among their own with joy and song, often while living in neighborhoods in Queens that do not have a permanent or viable Jewish community. We are their lifeline to that community. Let's say l'chaim to the thousands of smiles on the faces of the sick and the elderly who are visited every week in Forest Hills Hospital, to the countless ways, great and small, through which Chabad Rego Park has inspired and touched and will continue to inspire and touch the hearts, minds, and souls of members of our community from the youngest to the oldest. The Lubavitcher Rebbe reminded us often that we should view the whole world as being on a scale, and our one good deed, our one mitzvah can tip the scales of goodness, not just for ourselves, but for the entire Jewish people, for the entire humanity. Remember that my mitzvah and your mitzvah can be the one to tip the scale to bring Mashiach. May this hakel, this gathering of beautiful people gathering for a beautiful occasion, bring us straight to the ultimate hakel with the coming of Mashiach now. L'chaim Yidden, l'chaim.